Yeah, that's one that really is, that I find it's also quite difficult for some of the students that I'm working with, to try to make sure that they are telling a story that you're cutting the uninteresting parts out. Like I talk a lot about if you watch, because I think that there's, as readers, decreases as video comes up. I often talk a lot about movies because it's stories that people can relate to because they've all seen it. But at any point, when you watch a movie, the majority of the time, nothing is so. Good guys have to go do something. This is the action taking place. We don't watch the plane ride going through. We don't watch the car ride going through. We don't watch them sit down and have breakfast in between. Like that in between stuff, we just cut it out and we move to the next scene. Trying to get that idea that you don't have to tell that sequentially and stay in camera right on their shoulder the whole time as you're going through this story.
Right, right. We see a lot of what we call stage directions, where this person lifted the paper and then moved it and then put it down and then started writing and those kinds of things. And I think part of that is from watching movies, and I think part of it is also from like that's another layer of editing is which details do you need to show, which details support the story and which details are just, well, if I were writing to my mom, I might say, well, we did this and we did that, but I'm not necessarily telling her a story. I'm telling her what happened, but I'm not necessarily telling her a story.
And I think that, well, for me, one of the things that's been strongest for myself, is learning to write short stories better. Because that short story, you cut out, every word matters. When you're trying to do 3,500 words or 1,500 words, every single word needs to matter. There's no time for fluff. There's no time for unimportant things. So, so moving along with that, then. So you've got that. You're giving them some notes on what to do. What are the things? So let's say that this person's doing this on their own. And what are some of those big red flags that they should be looking for? We already know, if the scene isn't moving forward, we've got that one. What are some other really big red flags that a person could look for in their own work?
Yeah, so scenes that aren't going anywhere, and then I would also look for, is there a goal? Does the point of view character in the scene have a goal, and are they going after that? And are there enough obstacles in the way? So, a story where everything works out, everything the character tries works out really well for them. That's that's the way I like life to go, but that's not how I want my stories to go. I want the character, I like the characters to be tortured, which is it's kind of unkind, but since they're fictional, it's okay. Just to make sure that it's not just easy breezy. They have to have some serious setbacks as they go along.
Pile on the problems, I think that's one of the most important reasons why you should know your characters so well, what they like and dislike, because then you can hurt them harder. So.
Yeah. I love there's an exercise, I think it's from maybe, I can't remember who, so I'm not going to say, but that where you put your character in a really tough situation and then you write the character out of it, you get them out of it, and then anything that you relied upon, anything that you used in getting the character out, then you take that away and you write the scene again without the means that that you use to help the character out of it. And I like that because I think that the first iteration of a scene is often, for me at least, in my experience, that is it's just the bare bones. It's not the real rich part of the story that I want to tell. I have to kind of do more versions and toss out the early versions just so that I can get down to the meat of it, so to speak.
Thank you for listening, and come back next week for more. Please visit thebookeditorshow.com for show notes, links to guests, books and extras, and for information on how to be a guest on the show.